This is a great thing happening here this morning. Bryant University is holding a healthcare summit. So next week, which is bringing together industry experts to tackle the adolescent behavioral health crisis facing our kids. And joining us today to tell us more is Dr. Joseph Trunzo, professor
Thank you so much.
at Bryant University. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Will.
Thanks so much for coming in. We hear these stories about kids who are just struggling so badly. I never remember it being as bad as it is now, and even growing up. I'm not sure if it was just kids kind of kept it to themselves and didn't express it like they are now, or if it's more in the forefront.
Well, I think we were seeing increases in mental health issues in kids and adolescents and young adults even before the pandemic, particularly in depression and anxiety.
Right.
And COVID just accelerated that process exponentially. So the disruption in educational experience, physical activity, social interaction, social development, I don't even think we're scratching the surface of the profundity of the impact that that's having on our youth.
Right, and it really does. It breaks your heart. There's so many incredible kids who are struggling and they feel like they're alone and nobody cares, and that is not the case at all. And I'm so glad you're doing a summit like this.
Thank you. We are too.
So how are you talking to teens and preteens? Because look, it's tough to talk to teens and preteens to begin with, never mind about a subject that they may not want to talk about.
So there's talking to, and then there's also listening. Mm-hmm. So, and listening doesn't always have to be in terms of a conversation. So hearing the music your kids are listening to hearing the TikTok videos they're listening to, being tuned into their social media, the things that they're consuming. When I was a dad of adolescents, hearing the conversations that were going on in the car, going to and from. So really, as a parent and as an educator and as a policymaker, paying very close attention to what your kids are, not only what they're saying, but also what they're consuming, can provide us with a lot of information and insight in terms of how their mental health functioning is going overall.
So, you know, you were mentioning TikTok. So how are kids struggling, and how much does social media, you know, kind of move this along? Because that has to be a huge factor in this too.
In my opinion, it's enormous.
Yes.
So when kids are getting constantly fed overly curated, overly filtered images and stories, it sets up for them a comparison of what they think their life is supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. And you know, in a young adolescent developing mind, they don't necessarily have the perspective that this is an overly curated, overly filtered presentation. So when they look at their own life and it doesn't match up to what they're seeing in these social media presentations, that can then drive problems with depression, anxiety, body image. You know, social media can be a very powerful tool for good, but that requires a lot of oversight and monitoring from the adults in their lives.
So not everybody is fortunate and has great health care coverage and is able to get the help that they need. Can you tell us about the barriers that a lot of these kids and a lot of their families are facing trying to get the help that they so desperately need and know that they need?
So I would say the number one barrier is really access to care. Mm-hmm. So if you recognize that your child is in need, is having a significant mental health issue, it's hard accessing mental health care overall, period. But because working with kids and adolescents is a specialized area, finding a clinician who can actually take your child, who takes insurance, and who doesn't have a wait list that's months long, can be enormously difficult. This is part of the reason that Bryant has developed a doctoral program in clinical psychology, right, with a track that specializes in training psychologists who will be skilled in treating adolescents and kids. We need more clinicians.
Right.
No
that you do. So if someone's watching just quickly and they want to go to this, or they have a child at home or a family member at home who needs that help, how can we go about that?
So using the Rhode Island Psych Association's website, we have a Find a Psychologist function, contacting your health insurance provider and saying, who do you have in network who's qualified to work with my kids, contacting the Department of Health. There are various different websites that do referral services, and quite frankly, word of mouth. Right. So chances are your neighbor's kid is also struggling. They've probably gone through the same search. So reach out to people, find out who other people are seeing, and use those networks to try to get yourself connected with a good clinician.
And don't think you are alone in this, because there are people and there are ways to get help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Sooner you get the help, the better. Thank you, sir, for being here. Great stuff. stuff that you are doing. Now, to learn more about a great program at Bryan University's Healthcare Summit, you can head on over to our website. That is roadshow.com.